Hi, my name is Doug.
And I'm Tim.
We're the co-authors of Up North and our new book, The Complete Up North. So we thought we'd just take a minute to talk about where we got the idea for the first book.
1989.
89, and we were canoeing in Algonquin Park. We've done a lot of canoe trips together over the years, and it was July, I think, or?
End of July, yeah. What was it, Manitou Lake, or?
Yeah, Manitou.
North T Lake.
North T Lake.
North T Lake.
On an island campsite. And we were with some friends sitting around the campfire wondering about nature and having lots of questions. Only a few answers. We had some guidebooks with us at the time.
We did, a few.
But we thought it would be a good idea to compile a lot of knowledge into one book. We thought someone had done that maybe, but when we got back to the city and looked for that book, we didn't find it. So we thought, why don't we write it ourselves? And that was Up North, our first book, which you can see. This is my one and only copy. It's quite well used, and it's starting to fall apart. This was quite successful, thanks to everyone who bought one. We did a second book called Up North again a few years later, which was a lot of content that we couldn't fit in the first book. And one of the most interesting things about writing the books was coming across how people used it over the years, and we get great anecdotes about people using the book. I know you've got quite a few, Tim.
A great many.
Yeah? Can you remember one in particular?
About writing the book?
No, about coming across people reading it and using
coming
it.
Coming across people reading it. No.
No? Well, I remember one, being in the Algonquin Park Visitor Center years after the book was written, and we were just touring through, and we went up to a nature display, and they were showing amphibians and reptiles, snakes and turtles, that sort of thing, and we asked a question of one of the young naturalists there, and he didn't know the answer, so he said, excuse me, just wait a minute, let me check that. And he went underneath the table, and he pulled out our book, Up North, and he looked up the answers, and said, oh yes, I used this great book. So that was very satisfying to see that one.
There's, yes, a great many guides and summer camps and all kinds of canoe outfitters tell us that they use the book for all their customers and their staff.
Yeah. I remember once being at a trailhead on Manitoulin Island, and there was a map and some interpretive material at the trailhead on a bulletin board, and I was reading the material and looking at the drawings, and I thought, boy, this sounds really familiar. And it was just stuff photocopied from the book and tacked on the board. So the book eventually became number 3 on the Toronto Star bestseller list, which was very satisfying.
1993, summer of 93.
Summer of 93, right. So now, all these many years later, what we're doing is updating the two books into one book called The Complete Up North. It's amazing how many things have changed in nature since 93, since the first book. In fact, we were just talking about one on our hike today.
The geese. The geese, yes. There's used to be many different breeds of Canada geese, but since the first book was written, the smallest breed, which is the size of a mallard, they call the cackling goose, has now been made into designated a separate species. So there's great many species reclassifications that have taken place in the last 20 years that have a bearing on many things. Sure,
and things like the fisher population has exploded in those years. Certainly in astronomy, when we wrote the first book, science had not yet discovered any other planets outside of our solar system. Now there's more than 300 planets been discovered. All the great discoveries of the Hubble Space Telescope, of course. Pluto was demoted as a planet in the last 15 years.
Too bad about Pluto.
Too bad about Pluto. Yeah. Anyway, let's not go there.
Ravens have moved south. Gray jays have moved north. Animals' ranges do change.
Right.
And the other thing is just an incredible amount of new knowledge is available through research in the past 20 years on all of these species. So that we thought we would highlight in the new book.
So you'll find all that in The Complete Up North. It's available through our publisher McClelland & Stewart and at a bookseller near you. Hope you enjoy the book and participate on our website. You can leave comments about your own nature sightings, and we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.